Alright, hello. Before we start this video, I have some just prerequisite things we'll put in here. So basically this video is about wave control. So I'm going to start with things you should know about just basic waves. Both red and blue side waves will always mirror each other. So if you look at your wave, their wave will be in the exact same spot on the other side of the map. Second, waves spawn every 30 seconds. Cannon minion wave comes every 3 waves. Those are basically the very basic things about a wave, so enjoy the video. Hi, hello, welcome to my bootcamp series I'm starting. This one's going to be about wave management. First, we're going to start with knowing how many creeps you need to get to level 2, because bot lane is all about hitting level 2 first. You'll often see just both carries trying to basically hard push into it. So the exact number to hit level 2 is the first wave plus the first 3 melee creeps on the next wave. So that's something you should always be keeping in mind. You should be watching the other AD carry and see how many creeps he has, because knowing exactly when they're going to hit level 2 can save you from getting either all-in or you all-inning the other team at level 2. Alright, my second point is going to be knowing when the wave is pushing against you and when it's pushing for you. Really all it is about is counting the range minions. How many range minions you have compared to how many they have. He has 5 while you have 3, so it's of course going to be pushing hard against you. The way you'd want to clear that up is you want to basically have the same amount of range minions as he does. So if he has 5, you have 3, you want to clear 2 of his up. If you have more and you don't want the wave to push so hard, you want to not try to do your best to kill the backline. Because the range minions are what do the most damage while pushing. Like right now, I've basically reset the wave. So the wave is extremely even. The only difference is it's a little stalled closer to my side. So my creeps are going to hit the wave earlier, and it's going to push towards Kevin unless he uses spells to start clearing the wave. Alright, my third point about wave management is how to reset a wave. Let's say you don't have any wards, neither your support or you have any wards, so it's very unsafe to be pushed up like this. So you want to reset a wave. The best way to do it is to get it into their tower. So it's basically just shove as hard as you can into their tower and then just back up. Now since the wave was so big, it's going to take a while for it to reset towards me. Because this wave's probably going to hit the tower before it clears, unless the AD carry uses a spell to try to clear it all at once, which they did. So right now, what you've done is you've reset the wave. You're still not safe from a gank, but the good thing is their wave is going to eventually push hard into you, so you'll miss a couple CS if you're really afraid of being ganked or if you think there's a jungler in there, but eventually it's going to get back to you and you've only missed a couple CS. Alright, my fourth point is going to be talking about freezing. Freezing in lane is alright if you're ahead of your opponent and you want to zone them, so you want to freeze the wave. You don't necessarily want to freeze outside of laning phase because the meta has shifted to where team fights and grouping and getting towers is way more important than freezing and letting the other team group on your team. So freezing in lane is okay, but you don't usually want to freeze outside of lane. So how you'd want to freeze is, again, look at the range creeps. That AD carry has 3 compared to my 1. So I don't want it to push hard on me, so I want to be clearing the range creep if I can. Now since this is a 1v1 and I have no pressure on me, I can freely walk up and hit their backline to kind of slow it down. But if she had a support, I would not be as easy to do so. So what's going to happen is it's going to push into here. What you can do to not let it hit tower is pull it up into here if you're blue side. If you're red side, you're SOL, really. There's nothing you can really do to stop a wave. So right now, if In a regular situation, the other AD carry would most likely just hard push the wave into your tower because they notice it's kind of frozen and they're kind of really far up the lane. But again, like I said, freezing is really just about the range creeps because the range creep do the most damage. So just look at how many range creeps you have compared to how many range creeps they have. Alright, the last thing I'm going to go into is, this is the last thing in laning phase, is if your enemy AD carry is backing and you see them back, you want to push basically as hard as you can, pretty much any time you back into their tower, to try to make them miss CS. If you are able to, always push the wave into their tower before you back. That's vital for A, like we talked about earlier, resetting the lane, and B, making them miss CS. Because let's say you don't do that. If I didn't do that, by the time I get back, the wave would have been frozen, like right about here, and I may have been zoned because I didn't take the proper amount of time pushing the wave into them. So it's very important to try to always push a wave into their tower before you back. As you saw right there, the enemy AD carry missed a decent amount of CS before he got back. Okay, the second part we'll come to is out of laning phase. So basically the thing you need to know how to do is how to slow push a wave. And basically what slow pushing a wave is what I've been talking about the entire time. Is looking at how many range creeps they have compared to how many range creeps you have. So right now I have 3 range creeps compared to their 6. That's a lot. So the way you'd want to slow push it is kill their range creeps. You just want to kill their range creeps and leave their melee creeps up, basically. So now, what should happen is your wave should hit the wave first and start pushing into their wave slowly. As you see right now, the waves are already snowballing on top of each other. And basically that's just it. You just always need to be paying attention to how many range creeps you have compared to how many range creeps they have. Because the range creeps are what do the damage. So right now, this lane would just snowball slowly, very slowly, all the way till this tower. Alright, so what I'm going to talk about here is this is something I see low elo people do all the time, and it's bad pushing basically. So what I did here is I came into lane thinking, oh, I need to push this lane out. Great, I did push it out, but what I did wrong is I pushed this wave out, a non-cannon minion wave, into their cannon minion wave. So what's going to happen is instead of me thinking, oh, I pushed the wave out, I can go group like top, group bottom, and I'm a-okay, like this wave won't be pushing towards me. What happens is, as you see, that wave killed the entire wave I pushed into it, and it's now hit my cannon wave. So now, instead of me thinking, oh, I pushed it out, good job me, I did a great job, what's going to happen now is the wave's going to hit first before my wave hits, and it's going to snowball back into me. I see this a lot at gold and silver and in like bronze when I watch replays for people I give lessons to. And it sometimes messes up their game because they'll think they pushed it out and then they accidentally had it snowball back towards them. And it's very important you always push the wave out correctly, because if you don't have a wave pushing for you, you can't take objectives without minions. Alright, the last thing I want to teach you is a top lane trick. This is basically one of those things that's really only done in top lane. You don't want to do it bot lane or anything. But what it is how to get the wave to push into you level 1. So let's say you have a bad lane matchup like Rengar Darius. Darius usually outtrades Rengar, and let's say they have like a Lee Sin or a Panth, some high pressure early jungler. So what do you want to do is, let's say I don't want the wave to push into him and me get threatened of a gank. So what you do is you walk up to his wave and you pull it upwards. Now what that does is it makes their range creeps hit one of your melee creeps. All of them hit one melee creep. So right now, the wave is officially pushing into me. So what this allows you to do too is also decide, do you want to push into them? So if it's a lane you're not really too sure about, you don't know how the trading goes, you can do this, and then if you decide like in this first couple seconds that, hey, I can beat this guy, you can start pushing the wave into him by killing his creeps, by you auto-attacking his creeps. Basically, that's it. As you see, he will hit level 2 first, so that's something you have to be wary. But doing this is really about avoiding getting ganked and avoiding the early game, basically. If you know that you will die levels like 1 through 3, 1 through 4, this is how you basically avoid the early game. Hello, thanks for watching my first boot camp video. This is a part of an ongoing series. The first part will be basic boot camp for basically beginners and new people to the game, bronze, silver, gold, maybe even platinum. These videos will be just about the basics of League. So this video was about wave control, and it was just about understanding what a wave does and everything like about just a wave. In later videos, in my more advanced videos, I'll be talking about taking objectives off of slow pushing, just how to play around where wave is, basically, in my later videos. If you have any suggestions, comments, anything you want me to make a video about, talk about, put it in the comment section down below. I'll read it. I'll make note on it if enough people want me to do it. I'll probably do a lot of it, because I'm going to make this basic series is going to be about a lot of different things to really help the newer player improve. I have lessons that I have been doing. I'll probably put those up as videos too once I figure out kind of how to. Maybe I'll put the entire lesson up, maybe I'll cut it together. I just kind of want to figure out how I want to do that, because yeah, it'll be, I just have a lot of videos and a lot of ideas I'm willing to put out, because I really enjoy teaching about League. I've been playing League for 5 years. My highest rank has been Diamond 1. Diamond 1, 99 points. Man, this game is so incredibly complex when you actually learn about it. And learning the basics is where you start, and that's what I'm going to be trying to teach. Thanks for watching. See you in the next boot camp.